So Kate Middleton, we are not done here. Not yet. The British monarchy released a video of Kate Middleton admitting that she's being treated for cancer. But there are still so many questions from people who don't buy it, of course. So this video, of course, came out just before the weekend. Clearly, Natalie's not here right now. So we don't care to watch Kate Middleton out of a palace intrigue or to see what she's wearing. I don't really care about that. We care because we can see that the palace and the media are clearly lying to us, and we want to know why. So this is a message from Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, and you can see her. I'll just play a few seconds of it and we'll talk about it here. But this was her message here. And just watch the background, watch her hands, watch her hair, watch her shirt, all of that. This was her message.
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery. It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful.
So, okay. So the first thing that people say is that what you're watching here is AI, which we'll discuss this in a minute. This is artificial intelligence at play here. But even if it's legitimate, it does not explain all of the lies. So forget this video for a second. First off, who was this that we were told was her? Okay, we were told that this was her, right? On the left, we were told that that was her. And on the right, we were told that this was her with William at a farmer's market. Who are these people? If you put these photos next to the woman who made the video this weekend, it still does not add up. That's not the same person. That's clearly not the same person. And even though the palace never said those women were Kate Middleton, they were shown with her mother and her husband. Right? So they're with Prince William shopping? Who is this woman? Okay, and she's in a car. Like, what's going on here? But these people are like made to look like her? And the media ran with it. See, here she is. They were just shopping this weekend. Everything's fine. Ignore it. So do her husband and mother just have stand-ins that are available at a moment's notice for their beloved Kate so they can hang out with them? Like, oh, my real Kate isn't here this weekend, so I've got the doppelganger I can just hang out with. It also doesn't...
Well, the one thing I noticed on that video, if you play it again and look at it, there is absolutely zero movement of any flower, any leaf, any blade of grass. Nothing moves in that background, which is very, I mean, even like if you're outside, there's going to be some movement, right? I did just see a fly in front of her though, but like that was what made me question it. Like I see no movement.
Yeah, I mean, of course, analysts have dove into this. We're going to dive into more and more deeply here in a second, but I agree with you. I mean, nothing's moving. I don't know that I've ever been outside when it's like that calm, that peaceful. I don't know. So it does not explain why the palace never released the unedited version of the Mother's Day photo that started all of this. Like this original photo that went out that started this entire garbage. And now we know that this was altered. You can see the disclaimer at the bottom. It's an altered photo. And it was made its rounds all over the news, right? So when people pointed out that their outfits were similar to a public outing in November, they blamed it on bad photoshopping on the princess and never released the unedited version of the photo. Show us the unedited version of the photo then. Because the story we got was that Kate was at home on Photoshop and she, like other moms, likes to Photoshop some stuff. That's the story we got. Really? She just got like abdominal surgery for cancer and she's there Photoshopping things on a Mother's Day photo? Like something doesn't add up. And by the way, where's William in the photos? Okay. So again, the lies here. And if she's been sick all along, why did they lie that she didn't have cancer? Kensington Palace confirms princess does not have cancer. Okay. So then they're lying again. And if the BBC made this video 2 weeks ago, why did the press say that the woman who went to the happily, farm shopping last weekend was happy and healthy? Here's Kate outdoors. Here's Kate outdoors, happy and healthy. See, she's fine. Princess Kate spotted out and about for the first time. Oh, okay. So that's not Kate at all, but you're telling us it is. You're lying to us. Again. So is this video of her cancer explanation AI? Undetermined. A few problems, though, that people could be explained by the low resolution. But why do they film it with such low resolution? You know, we have 4K, and we're led to believe the BBC filmed this, and they filmed it with like 1990s film quality, right? 240p or something. Like they used
Android phone with.
They used like a Game Boy. Remember the Game Boy camera? You could get a camera that attached to your Game Boy back in the 1980s. Maybe that's what they used. A few problems that people see could be explained with this low resolution, so I just don't understand why they filmed it with this low resolution. Many have fixated on her wedding ring, which is the ring that once belonged to Princess Diana. It does disappear. It does appear to disappear at one frame. Watch this.
Wow.
So it disappears in a few frames. Now, again, it could just be the low resolution. Also, her nostrils are a bit uneven, some say. And this sweater is a sweater that we've seen her wear before in similar settings with a similar hairstyle, a similar blowout when she was outdoors in the spring wearing the same exact sweater. And take a look at this. This has made its rounds.
Mental health is just as important as physical health.
Yeah. So there she is outside wearing it. AI generators do not agree on whether or not the video is AI generated. Deepware detector shows that it's not AI, but image searches show the high likelihood that it is AI. The flowers don't move once in the entire 2-minute video. The ring kept appearing and disappearing in the footage. The eyes kept popping in and out. She blinks a lot. This is not about whether or not the princess deserves privacy. Of course she does. This is about why the palace and the media keep lying so badly about it, and whether or not we are free to ask for the truth. George Galloway is being blasted. Friend of the show, George Galloway, now a member of Parliament. He's being blasted, and even fellow MPs are even asking, calling him disgraceful. George Galloway blasted by members of Parliament for spreading conspiracy theories about Kate. He's an elected official who wants the truth, and they're saying that he should be deplatformed for this. If this is indeed more lying, it would serve the public, that the public should show real concern for her and her children, not less. Like, oh, who's that? We don't care. If she was a victim of some sinister palace plot, we'd like to know about it. We should care about it. And if the next thing we learn from the palace is that she took a turn for the worst, well, we'll soon know that we were right about it, sadly. But I think it's important for us to hear from the media and not them lying to us about it. Didn't the BBC, by the way, hire a whole like fact-checking misinformation, disinformation department to make sure that we're protected against kind of lies? We now know a correspondent, a reporter reached out to the BBC, filed a Freedom of Information Act request today, and specifically wanted to know if there's any AI being used in their footage, any deep fake voice manipulation, and a whole laundry list of things from this photo shoot. And the BBC responded because of this Freedom of Information Act request and said it will take up to 20 days for us to get a response to you. 20 days for us to know what's actually going on here with this film footage? I mean, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Do you think this is fake AI, or do you think it's real?
And I see so many people in the comments saying, I don't care about this story, shameful of Redacted to cover this. But here's why it's important. Because if you can point out and find something that they're willing to manipulate you to make you think it's real, then that will open up your mind to know when they're doing it for other things that may be more important to you. So right. That, like, you're pointing out the fact that they are trying to hide something that is basically not really that big of a deal, which will make you wonder, what are they trying to hide that is a bigger deal? That's why it's important. I
think it's a big deal when you have a figurehead of a country, right? A figurehead of a country, of the royal family, that is, and the state-run media is potentially lying about it and covering up. That's a big deal. And you have a member of Parliament, George Galloway, calling for the truth. That's news to me. That's news in my eyes.
Well, yeah, and I think that there's something very telling in the George Galloway thing, in what you said, like they're trying to get him deplatformed. If somebody's like got a bonkers like theory about something, like I know of like a YouTuber that like believes that like sharks aren't real, thinks that they're just a government ploy, you know, stuff like that. Nobody's calling to deplatform that person, because we all look at that and they're like, yeah, that's completely bonkers. But when they come out and they're like, we need to deplatform this person, it's not because what they're saying is completely false. It's because there's truth in it, and they want them to shut them up. They don't deplatform people that are just like, batshit crazy. This is not what they do.
Right. We just let that person be crazy. But here, the point is, they've lied to us already. Like, that happened. They've lied to us. And so did the palace, lying about this cancer. So what else are they lying about here? And what is the state-run media doing covering this up? When you look at their involvement in Ukraine and the amount of, literally you had you had Ukrainians training in the UK, right? And you have Ukrainian and you have UK soldiers right now inside of Ukraine. Like, what else are they covering up and hiding from us? This is important. Go ahead, David.
Well, and I think that's the main point is, like, this is a story that is going to, like, this connects many, many people that don't care about politics. They know nothing about politics. So if you can have something like this that a vast majority of people care about because they love the royal family, and they're like, wait, they're lying to us, then it makes them look on the political side and opens up their mind to the potential that they're lying about other things. So that's why I think this is an important story to cover.
Yeah, you could even take it a step further and look at what happened with the bloodbath comments last week and how the media lied to all of us, right? About the mainstream media pushed this narrative that Donald Trump was calling for a bloodbath, and he wasn't. They purposefully took it out of context. And Joe Rogan just did an entire piece, really interesting piece, on how even if the truth does come out, the lie has now saturated our brains first. And that's why lies and propaganda are so powerful, because they saturate our brains first. And no matter, even if the truth does come out later, the damage has already been done with the lie. So the bloodbath lie that Trump said, that damage has already been planted and done. You have the mainstream media telling the story that Trump's called for a bloodbath, and you have casual people who don't follow news very much or don't know what they're talking about. They're like, I heard Trump called for a bloodbath. It's another reason maybe I'm not going to vote for the guy. It's a lie. And so this stuff is powerful. And yeah, it doesn't just stop at Kate Middleton. It has nothing to do really with that. It really is about the lies and the media cover up and what these governments are doing. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what this Freedom of Information Act request will say once we get it back from the BBC, and the truth on that will come out. But I don't think they can cover up this for very much longer. So let us know your thoughts on this in the comments below. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. YouTube thinks that you'll actually like this next video right here. It's personalized based on your own viewing habits. So if you watch the video, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think about it. And we will see you next time, everyone.